guys, I don't know. In my family, people when they trying to understand something, they repeat stuff.
Okay.
Like if you voice how you feel about something, I may summarize what you said so I can understand.
Okay.
And I know that's crazy because I just had a situation like that, and somebody was telling me what was on their mind, and I voiced it back to them exactly in the sequential order that they gave to me, and it sounded silly to them. But it wasn't that I was trying to make them sound silly.
Hello.
Hello?
Yes, I'm sorry, Stephanie. What we did was mute the phone only because of the feedback. But you go right ahead. We're actually, Lionel is giving us, I brought up the scenario. If we get in an argument because now we're talking about conflict in a relationship, before we get the expert opinion, what did he think would be the best way to diffuse that? And so he's explaining to us, keeping a calm tone and, just being, monotone across the board, not necessarily getting heated and different things like that. So that's where we're at right now.
Right. So Stephanie, what I was saying was sometimes in a discussion, I will repeat things in order to clarify for my own. So I was telling Angela and Tony that just happened to me recently, where I was summarizing something that someone told me about something that was on their mind, and it sounded silly to them. However, I didn't mean for it to sound silly. I was just rehashing what I heard because I'm trying to process this in order to make a decision or to reply. So within that, we didn't even finish our conversation because it went awry, and she felt as if I was trying to make fun. But I wasn't trying to make fun. I was just trying to make sure I understood why she was upset in the first place.
Well, I think actually, to be honest with you, I think that is refreshing because most women I know by nature, we're communicators. So one of the big
Emotional
communicators nonetheless. But with that being said, I think it's refreshing to know that you're able to play back what I said because that means you're listening to me. It's nothing worse than even if I have brought that to your attention and I'm telling you how I feel and you can't remember anything I've just said because you really aren't paying me any attention. So for you to have been able to, I apologize that it went awry, but actually that would have been refreshing for most women because you're like, wow, he hears what I'm saying. Tony, what's your take on that? If somebody, you're in a dispute, debate, whatever you want to call it, argument, you have a conflict with your significant other, how would you diffuse it?
Well, Angela, I don't know if I told you or not.
Okay.
But I'm a scholar. So people like to come to me. Look, don't make me pull out my resume.
Go ahead, Tony. That's right.
Award scholar from Alabama State University, okay?
All right.
So that means that my input is valued.
That's
because
right.
it's coming from a place, of prestige.
I know that's right. You gotta speak that.
Communicator. So I'm just gonna put it to you like this. I've learned over the years when you're dealing with your significant other, arguments are gonna happen. But I've learned it's an easy way and there's a complicated way.
Okay.
The easy way is just to say, okay, baby, you're right. I understand. It won't happen again.
I tried.
And it's over with. It's over with. Now you got a nutcase. Unfortunately,
I would like to say a very passionate woman.
extra passionate.
You say nutcase, I say passionate.
I asked her one time. I said, "Are you crazy?" She was like, "No, not unless you make me." You answer the question for me, but all of us, we got a little craziness inside, and that's what keeps us balanced.
Yes.
But I mean, I don't really look at them as arguments. I look at them as debates.
Okay.
Because everybody's just trying to get a perfect understanding of what's going on. So
Right.
the more cordial you are with getting understanding from your significant other, the better it's going to help the outcome. If you see one person getting heated, it's not going to help if you get heated, because things are only going to escalate. Right. Somebody always has to keep the level head in the situation. Totally. And then when emotions, when they begin to join into things, emotion can make you blind.
Throw dishes. Temporarily.
You know, and you never know what happened because it can be done out of rage. So that's where you want to stay away from. Right. You know, so a lot of people,
not the plates.
The plates, the soup spoon, you just throw it like a little.
That was my favorite bowl, man. Oh, I can't drink no tea anymore.
Just toss it on out. And they know, if you've been together long enough, they know where your pressure points are. That was your favorite soup bowl. Then she know how to get to you. Right. You know, but I mean, just if anything in life, if you want it, you're gonna work for it and you're gonna fight for it. So sometimes you just got to be willing to let the upper hand go, just to keep things good along you two, if that's where you still want to be.
Exactly, being a peacemaker.
Yeah, that's because a lot of people, they're trapped inside of relationships that one person want to be out of and the other person still want to be in it, and they fight because the other person is fearful of telling the other person that they want to leave or that they're not there anymore. Right. People need to be adults nowadays. Life is too short. Right. I know everybody say that they want to keep their happiness, you know, but if what it is not working for you, you gotta let go sometimes. Right. Let go, let God.
And there
find
is
yourself.
Exactly. And not every letting go should be a bad thing. See, this is what I've always kind of looked at, right? If you're getting out of a relationship that you feel like has brought you so much grief, then wouldn't y'all be happy because both of you guys have decided, you know what, this has been so much grief, I'm so glad, let's just end it. And then y'all are amicable because you both came to this consensus that it's not working. So many people, it's like once it's ended, you know what I mean, especially if you put a lot of time into it, as long as it's nothing like, you know, abusive or anything like that, but just a normal, you know, parting of ways, it just isn't working out kind of thing. If you both are on that same page, then it should just be a clean split with, you know, everybody pretty much pleased, because you know that, you know, your time has passed. You don't have to deal with whatever it is you've been trying to deal with. So now, Stephanie, I'm gonna, you know, you've heard our approaches, but you know, I know you're the professional too in this arena. So how would you, what do you think is the best way to handle conflict in relationships? Well, listen, Stephanie.
Hold on, wait till I talk to you. Ooh, you just wait till I get home. Then you gonna hang up. How you gonna handle this? What you gonna do with this, Stephanie? Huh?
We already know Stephanie gonna be back on that line in a minute, but I think it is so important. But you know what? Listen, I have a surprise here in the audience, and you know, I'm not gonna make him come on camera, but my husband is actually in the studio today. Can we give him a big round of applause? And I was like, hi, Steven. So Big Steve, you know, because that's what I call him in the house. You know? Y'all may not have known that. Oh, I'm sorry, fam. I didn't mean to let the cat out the bag. But Mr. Steven, what do you, I can honestly say, you know, we've been together for a very long time. So, you know, you definitely have, you know, a passionate wife. You know, I wouldn't say crazy, I say passionate. But what is your take on conflict resolution? Like, you know, what is your take on the best way to resolve a conflict? And I'll wait for Mr. CEO because, you know, everybody need to see my husband on the show. So, Mr. Steven.
The best way, denial. Just deny everything and everything will be all right. It wasn't me. She caught you on camera, it wasn't me. No. But truly, to me, I think the best way to solve resolutions is, like I said, like he said before, you got to sit there and you got to see what the conflict is about in the first place. Right. You know, some people are sitting there saying the same thing, they just wording it different. And if you're not listening carefully, you will miss it because you want to get your point out. But by getting your point out, you overstepping or smashing the other person's point that they're trying to make. So to me, I think that, you know, like Stephanie said, a good communicator is when you sometimes just listen. You know, sometimes you got to step back and say, okay, is it my cue to jump in? Like, you know, remember we all used to do jump rope, double dutch, and all that. You try to wait for that turn, you know,
Right.
because if you don't, you're going to get smacked by that rope, you know, and smacking by the rope ain't easy or it don't feel good, put it that way.
Right.
So to me, I think that most people need to open their ears, see who they dealing with, number one, because a lot of people don't know who they dealing with.
Right.
You know,
Right.
and that's why relationships end so fast because they didn't become friends or they didn't become that listener to see. Because some people tell you, I'm crazy, you know, or I done been through some crazy stuff and this is what you about to get into.
Right.
But most people look at people's face. Or, oh, I like how he look. I like how she look.
Right.
Ooh, dang, you see her body? You know what I'm saying? But they don't know what's up here and what they're about to get stepped into. So first of all, like Stephanie said, listen. Then you can decide whether that person needs it. Because people going to tell you, you know, you just got to, you know, they might hide it for a month, you know. But what I notice is what a person is going to come out.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
They can't hide it too long.
Right.
They might, you know, pose a little bit, but believe me, you're going to finally get what you didn't know about. You know, so I say, yeah, slow down and listen and watch, you know. And that's pretty much what I got to say about it. Back to you, Angie.
Oh, thank you, Stevie. I love it. And you know what? Let me ask you guys a question. Do you think that typically men are better diffusers than women, just by nature? You know,
Yeah, absolutely.
you think so?
I think so. I think so. Simply because, you know, men are very logical.
Right, right.
You know, we don't really just
He's
impulse
not
off of the
emotional.
emotions.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, look, why are we arguing about that? I'm arguing about it because you arguing about it. I'm raising my voice right now because you're raising yours. I'm trying to raise my voice to get yours back down. I'm trying to over talk you to bring you back down. You know what I'm saying? So,
Right.
yeah, I think we kind of get caught in that web sometimes. But,
Yeah.
you know, I think sometimes people don't know how to separate their anger. Like, you may be angry for something at work.
Right.
Don't bring that home to
Right.
your
Right.
significant other.
Right.
I mean,
And it's actually up to them to even know, you know, kind of like the difference. Steve, would you say in the 18 years that we've been married, 19 real soon, would you say that you're more of the diffuser than I am? Come on, just come on the show,
All right,
baby.
yeah.
We've never done a show together.
stay here.
So what do you think? Am I the more passionate one?